Hey, good morning, fam. What's going on? It's Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Alabama versus Arkansas. Up next, the game is on ESPN. This is the watch party. It's a celebration of the college football season. So thank you very much for joining me today. I'll be soloing this Alabama versus Arkansas watch party right here on Bama Insider. And then after this particular watch party, we'll have the post-game show where I'll take your calls and comments right here on BamaInsider.com. I wanted to open up today's show. We're about 10 minutes from kickoff between Alabama and Arkansas, playing a great interview with Mick Gillespie and Chris Lowe. Now, you know, nobody has the keys to Nick Saban like Chris Lowe. Here's Mick Gillespie and Chris Lowe talking about the college football season and also talking about Saban's, kind of the smoke, the rumors about Saban's retirement. It was a great interview. I'm going to play that now, and then I'll come back. Alabama and Arkansas up next right here on the Bama Insider Watch Party.
Great to have Chris Lowe from ESPN join us on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. Chris, how's it going, man?
Great. It's good to be with you, Mick.
So much to talk about. Alabama with a big win over LSU, 55-17, and it just seemed like that win sent shockwaves through Baton Rouge. I mean, just a resounding victory.
I wasn't surprised, though. I mean, LSU is so depleted, and it's been such a bad year for them, and Alabama's just been rolling. I mean, that offense is just so explosive, and just pick your poison. And the thing I like so much about Bama is, they're explosive. They can throw the football down the field. And Mac Jones has had a great year. And I think Devontae Smith's the best player in college football. But they still can beat you up front with Najee Harris and that run game. And it's if you're a defense, what do you do? I mean, how do you game plan to go up against that offense? And I just had a feeling with the way it all went down last year. Let's be honest, the video of Ed Ogeron, what he said after the game, and the fact that game, that LSU comes to Tuscaloosa and beats Alabama, I would have been shocked if that game wouldn't have been a blowout.
Yeah, well, 55-17. I mean, it's certainly a blowout. Alabama set to play Florida in the SEC title game. I hate to overlook Arkansas, but, Alabama's a 30-some point favorite. Florida, to me, seems like they have, if they play a good game, they're going to have to play probably their best game of the year, close to it. But I think they have the players that they could give Alabama a lot of trouble. What do you think?
Well, they can score. And, to beat Bama, we've seen you're going to have to score a lot of points and be capable of not only scoring, but hitting them with some big plays, some explosive plays, and not necessarily having to drive the football 70 yards. I don't think Bama's as good defensively as they have been in the past, but they have gotten better over the last month or so. They seem to be playing their best football on that side of the ball. So if you're going to beat them, you're going to have to strike quickly. You're going to have to be able to score. And I think you're going to have to turn the football over. I mean, turn Bama over. I don't think you're just going to be able to continue to get off the field defensively. You're going to have to be able to make some plays on defense and have some short fields and not let Mac Jones and that Bama offense stay on the field, because the more possessions they have, you're not going to have a chance against these guys. I don't care who you are. Unless they turn the ball over, unless you make some plays in special teams and keep the ball out of Mac Jones's hands and get some short fields and score some points, unconventional, Mick, whether it's on special teams, whether it's blocking a field goal, whether it's setting up some scores for your offense by turning the football over defensively. I just think anybody out there is going to have a hard time beating Bama.
With Kyle Henderson, I'm Mick Gillespie. We're talking with Chris Lowe from ESPN. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. Chris, Nick Saban missed the Iron Bowl because of COVID, right? He survived it back on the sideline in Baton Rouge for LSU. It was interesting that there were some rumors that came out from people that said, that Nick Saban was going to retire and that Stark would be the next head coach. Obviously, it's that time of year with recruiting. But it just seems like the way that things are going right now, I wouldn't expect to see Coach Saban retire. You know him as well as anyone. What do you think?
I honestly didn't hear that. Rumors before, once he tested positive, there were some rumors out there that he might go ahead and retire and let Sark take over.
Some people put that out. His daughter was quick to say they come out every year, these rumors. And I kind of was glad that she said that. I mean, signing day's next week. So that could be part of it. But at the same time, it just seems like this guy is rejuvenated again.
You mean there's some shenanigans going on in recruiting in the SEC? Come on, that never happens, Mick.
Right. And another recruiting class too.
I'll be honest. I got just the opposite feeling talking to Nick. I actually talked to Nick. I guess it was the day or a couple days before. Actually, it was the day after the game. I talked to him for a story I did on just what it was like for him to be away from the team and watching it on TV and how excruciating that was for him. And my sense in talking to him, and really some things he said to me suggesting it, and people close to him, i.e. Jeff Allen, who's the only staff member there, and on the football side, who's been with him every step of the way, I think it only reinforced that the guy wants to keep coaching. In Nick's world, as he's told me, what's he going to do if he's not coaching football? Now, we never can see into the future. None of us has a crystal ball. If his health were to decline, if he were to have some kind of bout health-wise or administratively, there was an upheaval, or even in college football, if things went in a direction that, as Nick approaches 70, that he didn't like, well, I think at that point all bets are off. But I know this, his love for coaching ball and being out on the practice field and doing all the things that, you do is the things that, quite honestly, some people look at as a grind. He looks at it as that's his sanctuary, recruiting and practicing and watching tape and being around the players in the locker room, having staff meetings. Those are the things he loves to do. So I think not having a chance to have done that week, and certainly on game day, in my conversations with him, I think that only reinforces he wants to coach that much longer. And again, we don't know what else is going to be out there. But I think if anything, that whole experience just in his mind underscored that he wants to keep coaching football.
Chris, there's been a lot of weird stuff as far as scheduling goes to set teams up for the college football playoff. First off, the ACC canceled games for Notre Dame and Clemson. That sets them up for a championship game in the ACC next week. And then the Big Ten changed the rules that they set up at the beginning of the year to allow Ohio State to miss these two games that really were out of their control, but that were canceled, and still get into the Big Ten championship game with 5 wins. Your thoughts on that?
I guess my first thought would be, I'm not surprised at anything that happened this year. And I probably wouldn't have been going into the season because I knew how challenging it was going to be to play football. And I knew every league and every part of the country was going to be a little bit different. My pet phrase, Mick, all year has been, even back in September when we were talking about whether we were going to have a season, it's just not going to be a cookie cutter season.
Right.
It wasn't going to be a cookie cutter return. Every league, every group of presidents, every football coach, even regions of the country. And we've seen that all year long. We're going to be different. Some of it was just going to be luck of the draw. What teams got it earlier? You've seen some teams that got a lot of sort of ran through teams that the virus did back in, say, July and August. And those teams have had better luck in not having outbreaks during the season. What's killed teams is a contact tracing element of this. Is you might have 3 guys that are positive, and then you do the contact tracing and it knocks out 15 guys. And that's difficult to deal with. It's been such a grind the year has for coaches, mostly for the players, and the sacrifice they've had to make to, think about it. Most of these guys haven't seen family members, girlfriends, grandmothers, granddads that they're used to seeing because they haven't been able to go home because it's really sort of been a bubble for most of these schools to be able to make a football season happen. So I'm not surprised. And, the fact that Ohio State is unbeaten and I think most of the games that have been canceled haven't been because of what's been going on within their program. It's been other programs, things out of their control. And I think if you watch them play, and I've watched them play, and the playoff is so subjective anyway. There's no hard and fast rules about who's going to be in or who can't be in, or we keep hearing the eye test. And I think Ohio State is probably one of the best 4 teams right now. Now, they've only played 5 games, and a lot of teams have played 10 games. And it's the playoff is subjective. As long as we have 4 teams, it's going to be that way. And you go back over the years when teams have gotten in, even going back to the BCS, even Alabama got in one year when they didn't win their side of the division. They didn't even win their division; they got in. This year is so different and so unique that I think it's hard to complain. It's hard to point the finger. And the Big Ten, I don't think from the outset handled this well. I mean, they weren't going to play, then they did play, and now they changed the rules. That was their rule. Keep in mind that you had to play 6 games to be eligible. They come back and change the rule because, listen, they want a team in the playoff. That's the bottom line. Their best chance to get a team in the playoff was Ohio State. And I think that's a big reason why they voted the way they did. But it's, you mentioned Notre Dame and Clemson. You're right. They're not playing this week. Clemson, I'd say Clemson probably with what went down with Florida State, I felt like maybe even if they did try to play that game, it might get canceled again. I think the mere fact that we're to this point and we're still playing football and it looks like, Mick, we're going to have a playoff, I think that's the blessing. That if you're a football junkie and you really love college football, the fact that we've made it through to this point and all the sacrifices have been made, mostly by the players, but by coaches and support staff. Think about the equipment managers and the trainers and the people that we don't talk about a lot. Sports information directors, all those people that are sort of behind the scenes that have hung in there and been out there day in and day out to try to make a season happen. I think those are the people we salute. First, the players, first and foremost, but all the other people that have helped us get to this point where we're going to have a chance to have a playoff and crown a national champion. Whether it has an asterisk beside it or not, there's going to be a national champion. I think if we went back to September and the two of us had conversations, how realistic is it that we're going to have a season? Well, you know what? A lot of people have made a lot of sacrifices and a really deep, enduring commitment to have football this year.
Thanks, Chris.
You bet, man. It's good to be with you.
Yeah, you too.
All right, that was Chris Lowe, and you're watching the BamaInsider.com watch party right here. We got Alabama and we got Arkansas up right now, and that game, like I said, is on ESPN. So go over to ESPN. You don't have to feel like you have to watch the entire game with me by any means. I'll be here with you through the entire way, and we'll see what happens with the Alabama Crimson Tide. And the game is kicking off right now on ESPN. So definitely go over there and check it out. This is the Bama Insider Watch Party. And if you're kind of wondering how the watch party works, look, it works like this. I'll be here, throughout the entire day. Take your comments. We'll kind of talk about this game and provide some commentary, provide some stats that you might not see on the television broadcast. And then after the game, I'll take your calls and comments right here on Bama Insider. What's up, Derek? I see you. Let me know where you guys are coming from inside the comment box. I'd appreciate to, get to see where you guys are checking in from and checking out the game. Alabama, a 31-point favorite today, which is, which I wouldn't, I'm not really surprised by. I think, what this team has been able to do. And it could be more. What do you think? I know there's been some scores inside the comment box already. Arkansas last week lost to Missouri by a score of 50-48 or something crazy like that. And I think Arkansas allowed 650 yards of offense to Missouri. So, if they're allowing that many yards to Missouri, think about how many yards they could allow to the Alabama Crimson Tide, right? So I'll be back and forth. I'll put up, kind of a commercial break. You guys don't have to stay here. Kind of you can dip back and forth. After is when I want to take your calls and your comments. Current temperature they're showing right here in Fayetteville, Arkansas is a chilly 39 degrees. Today here in Tuscaloosa, it's the rain is coming in nicely. And there you see Nick Saban right here, the GOAT, in his big, nice, comfy coat, ready on the sidelines, along with Cedric, who's walking behind him with probably some hot cocoa inside that Gatorade cup. And Alabama Crimson Tide will kick off to Arkansas. Special game note, Evan Neal did not make the trip, so Chris Owens will be starting for him at right tackle. Other than that, everything will be good with Alabama's offensive line. This is the Bama Insider Watch Party. You're joining me Kyle Henderson, and you guys are the party, right? You guys are here. It's a celebration of the college football season right here on Bama Insider. And Sam Pittman said earlier this week that Felipe Franks would be questionable for this particular game. But as you could see right here on ESPN, that he is marching the Razorbacks out onto the field. As you know, he was a transfer from Florida, threw 38 passes, had 8 rushes in 28 games at Florida, and now he's at Arkansas. And I think overall, Arkansas under Pittman, they've certainly been an improvement, from where this team has gone. And Arkansas opens up with the first down, right? Starts with a nice pass over the middle of the field, and here we go. Got a game. Remember, the game is on ESPN, and it looks like Christian Harris somehow is injured on that opening play. 6'2" sophomore out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, currently leading the team in tackles. Looks like it could be some sort of a stinger or something like that. Looks like it's the left side of his body. Not a good way to start for the Alabama Crimson Tide defense. Defense has certainly been an improvement. Let's see what happened on that particular play. Looks like he just fell oddly somehow on that left shoulder on that wrap up. So we'll keep you posted the best that we can. Maybe it's a stinger or something like that. Hopefully it's not too serious, and we'll get to see who steps up at that inside linebacker position. And that was something that we were kind of talking about going into this particular game, is that, you want to avoid injuries in this game, right? First quarter, let me update the scoreboard at the bottom of the screen. Felipe Franks with plenty of time. My goodness. Looks like he's going to take off and get a first down. And like I said, I'm not going to be here the entire game. You guys go watch the show. I'll be watching it with you. I'm just providing some observations, mostly on the offensive side when Alabama comes out on offense, and kind of the thought process before on the watch party is like, look, I'm going to be watching the game anyways. Might as well turn on YouTube, and you guys can have a place to kind of have a chat. We're also chatting on BamaInsider.com and, of course, on social media, so we appreciate it. Hey, Bombs, what's up, man? Thank you so much for the super chat. Super chats go a long way. A lot of moving parts here at BamaInsider.com, so we really appreciate it. So thank you very much. And, all super chats welcomed. Arkansas facing a 3rd and 11 right here. We'll see what Felipe Franks can do. And as you see, the Alabama defense able to get to him. That's a quarterback sack, and that is by Christian Barmore. Christian Barmore has certainly been a beast this year, and Arkansas will punt on their opening drive. Not surprised. I mean, this defense, the way that they've been playing, has really been impressive. And here you see, I'm curious to see who they've slid over to that inside linebacker position. So you got Dylan Moses. And I haven't seen who they put at that additional inside linebacker position. I would assume it's Joshua McMillan. While I appreciate it, Bombs. Thank you so much. Double super chat already on the board. Appreciate it, man. And Arkansas punts, and fielding the punt is Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith, how you guys? I know a lot of you guys are nervous every time Devontae Smith, returns punts. And let's see what the Alabama offense can do on their opening drive. I'm going to make a note real quick to kind of follow up on Christian Harris. I think that's a noteworthy item that we'll follow up on because he's leading the team in tackles. Christian Harris out, opening play. And here comes that electric Alabama offense. Wow. What's up, Dwayne? Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. You certainly, top super chatter right here on Bama Insider, and we appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Alabama opens up with a short run. I don't even know if you got a yard or two from Najee Harris. My opinion is that the linebacker is the deepest position on the team. That's interesting to talk about, Dwayne, because I've kind of had some reservations about the inside linebacker position. But we haven't really got to see a lot of those guys. Remember, Shane Lee started this entire season last year as a freshman. He played in like one game this year. Joshua McMillan, a senior that came back, redshirt senior. He hasn't really seen too much time. Najee Harris drops a pass out of the backfield. So Alabama will be facing a 3rd and 9. And then at the inside linebacker position, you also have Ali Cajo. We haven't seen much of him. Same thing with Jalen Moody, right? So a lot of these inside linebackers you really haven't seen play too much this year. And I know that because I do all the snap counts, and you can see all that back at Bama Insider. I appreciate it, Dwayne. Now, Alabama certainly has some inside linebackers coming in. Kendrick Blackshire, Deontay Lawson, Ian Jackson. Alabama looks to get a first down off a completion from Mac Jones to Slade Bolden, which is good. I mean, a lot of people have been wondering about Slade Bolden and if he is the guy. And here we see Chris Owens starting at that right tackle position. Please note that when you're watching the game, kind of, see how he does within this particular set. I think he has an opportunity to prove that, he can be a guy if he's needed to, kind of late in this season, which I think is important. Thanks again, Dwayne, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the super chats. Dwayne Bombs, it really means a lot that you guys would super chat. Alabama moving down the field right now. Mac Jones is 1 of 2, 10 yards in this early game. 12 minutes remaining. Alabama 0, Arkansas 0. This is the Bama Insider Watch Party. You guys are the part of the party right here. So I appreciate you guys joining me today. After this will be the post-game call-in show right here on Bama Insider. They'll hand off to Najee Harris, and Najee Harris is doing what he does best, right? Making that first defender miss. I think he leads the entire country in making that first defender, that first point of contact miss. He's had such a great season. Here's a great graphic on the screen. I mean, 3,400 yards and 40 touchdowns in his career. He's about to surpass Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, which is incredible. And Alabama's held up this opening drive. It seems like they're kind of playing a little lethargic. Is that the right word? Right? Maybe a little bit, you need that Bama coffee or something. I don't know. It doesn't seem like, that this is like kind of the offense that we've seen. So Alabama will come out to kick a field goal, and it'll be Will Riker, who's been fantastic this year. Of course, up for a holder of the year is Mac Jones. And the field goal is good. It was a 7-play, 19-yard drive, 2 minutes and 22 seconds, and Alabama is leading Arkansas 3-0. Update the scoreboard, and I'll be right back right here on Bama Insider as the Crimson Tide leading Arkansas early in this game 3-0. Give me a second. I'll be right back here on BamaInsider.com. You're watching the BamaInsider.com watch along, watch party, whatever you want to call it, right here on BamaInsider.com. I'll be right back. We are back right here on the Bama Insider Watch Along, the Watch Party. My name is Kyle Henderson, the Bama Insider. How about Will Reichard knocking down a field goal? That was his 11th field goal of the season for the Crimson Tide. Pretty remarkable. He's 11 for 11, 69 of 69 on PATs this year. So clearly Alabama has a kicker. And the Crimson Tide currently leading Arkansas early in the first quarter by a score of 3-0. Now, we do have an update on Christian Harris that was provided right here by ESPN that said that Harris suffered a shoulder injury that was on the first play of the game, and he's into the locker room, and he's going to be questionable to return for this game. So, you could tell it was a shoulder, the way he landed on his shoulder, whatever, but that's an important part because he's the leading tackler on this Alabama defense. Arkansas trying to get across the 50-yard line for the first time in this game. Felipe Frank's going to pick up a few yards, and Alabama currently leading. I think, in this particular game, hey, what's up, Tobias? We see you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. What's up, Anthony? Appreciate you joining us. It's always, we always like to dissect, what the defense did right and wrong. And of course, I provide the Pro Football Focus grades after each particular game right here on Bama Insider. So they, and it's coaches that are, grading these players after the game, and it helps out. And it looks like Alabama's second quarterback sack of the game, and it looks like that was some pressure from the outside by the freshman Malachi Moore. Malachi Moore, I mean, we keep talking about him, right? I mean, just playing at such a high level throughout the entire season, coming off on a corner blitz. So Alabama has 2 quarterback sacks in this game. Arkansas facing a 3rd and 5, trying to get outside. Looks like Alabama is able to get pressure. Felipe Franks extends the play and then is buried down, and it looks like the ball will be called down after he was smashed by Alabama defender. But Arkansas moving the chains, right? Geez, that was by Byron Young, who just kind of body slammed the receiver. Geez. Do you imagine if Arkansas takes a lead right here? I mean, I can't even remember the last time Alabama was down. Right, we all kind of point to that game where Syracuse was leading Notre Dame 7-3 at the end of their first quarter. I mean, it's early. Alabama could certainly score 28 points in this quarter still. I mean, there's only 9 minutes to go, but Arkansas certainly moving the football now inside the red zone. Felipe Franks handing the football off, and it's going to be wrapped up in the backfield again by Byron Young. That is his second tackle of the game. Thank you for joining me right here on the Bama Insider Watch Party. My name is Kyle Henderson. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We got a ton of content. This is called the Watch Party, the Watch Along. Basically, just provide some commentary throughout the entire game. You don't have to feel like you have to stick around. The game's on ESPN, so go watch the game or have it on in the background, whatever you want. I'll be here throughout the entire day, and then after this, I'll take your calls right here on Bama Insider. Felipe Franks with years to throw, completes a pass. Oh, it's going to be incomplete. Good coverage by Jordan Battle right there in the secondary, and looks like there's going to be a flag. And usually on a play like this, it is going to be holding, I would assume. Thank you very much for the super chats as well. A lot of moving parts here at Bama Insider. We appreciate a simple thumbs up. Oh, it's going to be a holding on the defense. Wow. It's going to be on William Anderson, who's going to be the freshman at Alabama. Let's see what he did here. Yeah, that is a holding call. Wow. Okay, so Arkansas continues to gain yardage right here, and now on the Alabama 8-yard line, looking to take the lead on the Alabama Crimson Tide, who are ranked number 1 in the college football playoffs rankings and also number 1 in the Rivals.com recruiting rankings. Remember, next Wednesday is signing day right here on Bama Insider and across the nation, of course, but we're going to have tons of coverage. Felipe, that was weird. What even happened on that play? the Arkansas running back, or whoever that was, the receiver is kind of motioning, and he slipped. He slipped, which caused him to then be called for a false start. That was strange. Haven't seen that this season. Yeah, and you're right, DB. That Arkansas field looks pretty terrible. And then, you got to play into that because, I mean, let's face it, you don't want Alabama to have good traction. It's not something that just happens, right? They prepare. These field crews are incredible. Pass out to wide receiver, and looks like a couple more yards gained for Arkansas, as they are now going to face a 2nd and goal at the Alabama. I'm sorry, it's going to be a 3rd and goal at the Alabama 9. I'm not going to be here the entire game, so I'll kind of be like back and forth. So the game's on ESPN. I'll update the scoreboard, but as you can imagine, talking for 6 hours is difficult for any human being to do. Good stop for the Alabama defense. And let's see what Arkansas is going to do in this situation. Obviously, if they're faced with that 4th down inside the red zone, you feel that they're going to kick a field goal. I'm still curious. Let me know in the comment box if you've been able to see it. Who's been starting at that inside linebacker position with Christian Harris out? Let me know in the comment box if you can see it. I can't see it. Maybe if they zoom in a little bit. I would assume it's Joshua McMillan. And good play by the secondary right there. That was a good play by Daniel Wright coming through to break up the pass, and Arkansas will aim for a field goal. 7 minutes to play in this game. They're actually going to credit William Anderson with that sack. So it is 3-3 with 7:18 to play. Arkansas knocks down a field goal. It was an 11-play, 66-yard drive. And this game is tied up early in the first quarter. I'll update the scoreboard, and then I'll be right back right here on Bama Insider. First quarter, and there is 7:20 to play. Be right back on Bama Insider. All right, welcome back. This is the Bama Insider Watch Along, the Watch Party. My name is Kyle Henderson, running solo today. My good buddy Trey Yanity, who is always here. He's working on some projects today, so he'll be back hopefully next time. And we always appreciate Trey Yanity is with us last night on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show with Mick Gillespie. You can rewatch right here on our YouTube channel. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Alabama up in Fayetteville, Arkansas today, taking on the Razorbacks. The game is on ESPN. We don't stream the game, so this is just a watch party, kind of the watch along, and provide kind of some, some commentary and maybe some stats that you might not have seen within the game broadcast. Alabama and Arkansas currently tied 3-3. Alabama has 35 yards in a possession and a half. Arkansas has 73 yards. Mac Jones 3 of 4 with 26 yards to start the game. Keynote that Evan Neal is not in this particular game. He's out. Chris Owens will be starting over him in this game. And Mac Jones with a nice completion, and that looks like it was to Devontae Smith, who continues to climb kind of the rankings chart. That was a nice setup with Alabama going to the trips to the left and kind of moving the chains. So Alabama working down the field right now. Mac Jones back to pass, launches one for Devontae Smith, who was nicely covered, but the ball was extremely overthrown by Mac Jones. Haven't seen too much of that by him this season. 3 of 5 right now, 26 yards in this particular game. It's really incredible to see, kind of this offense, when they're working at the highest level, because, they're scoring in drives of 1 minute, 2 minute. That's why you kind of look at the score right now with 5 minutes and 49 seconds in the game, and they only have 3 points. You're like, it's odd. It's also odd that Alabama's playing at 11 in the morning, right? Not used to this. I don't think Alabama's used to this. And Arkansas, with another stop, Alabama now facing a 3rd and 8. Excuse me while I drink some coffee at this 11 a.m. start. What do you guys think so far? It's kind of it's definitely a slow start. And so kind of the team is playing the field conditions in Arkansas, kind of like a slow, lackadaisical start. It just kind of feels sloppy. It's like Alabama will move up the field because of a penalty for Alabama. I'll add some new photos as we go along. Once I get them from the SEC, I'll add those photos, kind of swap some stuff out. But don't feel, the game is on ESPN, so, don't feel, like you have to stick around the whole time. Please don't. And I'll kind of be back and forth as well. This is the watch party, and this is just how it works. I'm here with you the entire time. Here comes Alabama working on a 3rd down. 3rd and 3 that they are facing. Let's see what Mac Jones can do. A lot of motion from this Alabama offense, and wow, God, this field is terrible. Najee Harris slips in the backfield. Yeah, change those cleats, right? You got to go with the 3/4, pretty much like those huge spikes that you have, right? Alabama's going for it though on 4th down, and I think you're going to be happy with what happens on this play. Crimson Tide facing a 4th and 4. I think a couple of you guys are ahead of us right here on our stream. Mac Jones back to pass. He's going to dump it out. Oh, yuck. Is it me, or does it seem like Mac Jones is off in this game? Right? DB, I just said that. I think you said it before me, but don't you feel like he's off? Seems like he's really off. I don't know if this team is looking forward to the Florida game. I don't know if it's because they're playing in the morning. Sound off. What is going on with this offense? Think about it. 2 possessions. And look, granted, Sam Pittman, I know he's an offensive line coach, former at Georgia, but this guy has a good defense. You look at the fact that Alabama in 2 possessions, 36 yards. First was a field goal. A turnover on downs. Arkansas right now with 73 yards. Mac Jones in this game, 4 of 7, 28 yards. I don't know. Najee Harris, 6 rushing attempts, 8 yards. We've seen this game after game from Najee, these slow starts in the first quarter, whatever. But this, I don't like what this looks like right now. And then you kind of look at, what is a trap game? This is a trap game. Alabama's playing in a trap game. all that rat poison ahead of it, right? Ahead of this game, people talking about, the Florida game, whatever it is. I don't know. It's not looking good right now, but it's only the first quarter. I know that expectations are through the roof for every single thing that Alabama does. So let's see how the game settles in. 3-3, 4 minutes. Be right back here on Bama Insider. All right, we are back right here on the Bama Insider watch party, watch along, whatever you want to call it. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Arkansas about to punt the football away. Back to receive is Devontae Smith. Wow, that punt was nearly blocked. Devontae Smith, how you guys feel about him returning punts? I mean, he does it well, right? Here he goes. I mean, is this it? Look, he's off to the races, and here goes Devontae Smith. My goodness. Please give him the Heisman Trophy. All right, please give him the Heisman Trophy. I mean, come on. Is it too, I mean, come on, Devontae Pose. I mean, it's unbelievable how talented this young man is. I mean, you look at kind of those moments where, you get a player that steps up, that does something that you just remember. I mean, that's why Devontae Smith is returning those punts. I mean, this guy is extraordinary. I know he's got some far out odds right now to win the award, but I mean, look, Amari Cooper, the last time that, someone was up for the Heisman was back in 2014. I mean, this guy clearly deserves to be up at that podium with Mac Jones and Kyle Trask. I mean, look at the speed, the ability he has to kind of see these cuts, these reads, and then the overall speed. I mean, this honestly, this was a thing of beauty. Let's just take a minute to just enjoy that. Look at the blocking, the cut up field. The field conditions are terrible. And this guy is able to see that lane, cut through, and then check this out. The acceleration burst right there at the 50, just incredible. My goodness. 84-yard punt return for Devontae Smith. That's incredible. I'm so happy for him. I'm just, every single thing that happens for this young man is just, I mean, he deserves everything coming his way. Give him the Heisman Trophy. Devontae Smith, give it to him, right? 84-yard touchdown. Let me note that down. 84 yards. I'll update the scoreboard in a second. Man, that was amazing. Devontae Smith doing his thing for the Alabama Crimson Tide, and the Crimson Tide just like that. Look, their offense hasn't been the best today. But Arkansas, coming out with 4 penalties already for 20 yards. And then Devontae Smith, you look at kind of penalties, you look at special teams and all those different categories that matter. And Devontae Smith, I mean, it's just coming out with that breakaway speed. Jarvis saw it, right? I mean, that was amazing. And he has that ability to just straight up change the momentum of the game, right? I think we all noticed that this game was kind of stuck in the mud at the beginning. Appreciate it, Brent. Thank you very much for the super chat. But now Devontae Smith kind of changes that momentum, and now Alabama up 10-3 in the first quarter. I'll be right back here on BamaInsider.com. You're watching the watch along watch party right here on Bama Insider. All right, we're back right here on Bama Insider. I mean, Tobias, what's up, man? Appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you so much for coming through. Here's another punt to Devontae Smith. I mean, look, this guy is electric. I just tweeted out, give him the trophy. And how about this defense? I know a lot of people have been calling, for the defense and so critical of the defense, but check this out. And one of the things that we talked about in this particular game is the fact that the defense has been getting pass rush. Hold on, I'm watching this daily goals for Mac Jones. Nutrition, hydration, kindness. I love it. Hydration is so underrated. So stay hydrated out there. But the sacks for Alabama in this particular game, 4 sacks, right? 5 sacks is the most that they've had this entire season, which was last week against LSU. So you look at the last 2 games, they've already had 9 sacks, 4 in this game. So this pass rush, these blitz packages, kind of just Alabama playing angry. And look at Najee Harris playing angry right there. Getting up the field for a fantastic run. How far was that? That was a long run by Najee. It was a 17-yard rush by Najee. But you look at kind of this defense and the sacks. I mean, 4 sacks right here. William Anderson, who's just a freshman, has 2 sacks on the game. You have Christian Barmore with 1 sack, and then Fedarian Mathis and Byron Young, they each have half a sack in this game. So 4 total sacks for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And now you see, just from Devontae Smith, that little urge of momentum that's changed this whole game, right? I mean, you look at now, Alabama seems to be playing at a higher level, seems to have found some sort of tempo, and this is where Alabama pulls ahead. And I think when you look at this particular game, I think those penalties for Arkansas and the pass rush have certainly been the difference in this early first quarter, right? Because at first it didn't seem like Alabama had too much, if any, momentum. And now we're here in the second quarter. So I'll be right back here on Bama Insider. But thank you very much, Tobias, for the super chat. We appreciate it. Alabama. And thank you, Tobias, for that. So it's Jalen Moody, who is also in for Christian Harris at the inside linebacker. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I can't see who is starting, but I was kind of wondering who it would be. But it'll be interesting to see kind of, how Jalen Moody fares in for Christian Harris today. Good opportunity for him to step up. Okay, I'll be right back on Bama Insider. You're watching the Bama Insider Watch Party. Watch along. Alabama 10, Arkansas 3, Alabama inside the red zone. All right, what's good, fam? It's Kyle Henderson, BamaInsider.com. Let me update that banner. It's actually the second quarter now. Thanks for joining me right here on the BamaInsider.com watch along. Did you guys see Arkansas playing dirty, right? Trying to twist Devontae Smith's ankle. My goodness. Yeah, that's kind of like this game. Like, what is this game really for, right? Other than money, right? For everybody. But otherwise, I mean, Alabama's already clinched the West. Florida's already clinched the East. So you're starting to see, maybe these teams start to play dirty. That was, I mean, come on, you can't do that. Can't try to go after Devontae Smith like that. I don't like that. What are you doing for? What are you doing that for? All right, looks like we're getting some sleepy updates from the Big Ten. It looks like Northwestern up on Illinois 7-3. That'll be the team that plays Ohio State in the asterisk Big Ten championship game, right? Big Ten cutting up rules so Ohio State can try to get inside the playoffs. I get it. Like I said, it's all about money. Alabama right now on looks like they're on the 20-yard line trying to move it into the end zone once again, up 10-3. Mac Jones connects with Miller Forrestall for a nice gain across the middle, 13 yards. Mac Jones now 6 of 9, 47 yards, and Alabama continues to move it, currently leading 10-3. Like I was saying earlier, I think when I looked to the first quarter, kind of the storylines that stand out to me was the pass rush from Alabama's defense, 4 sacks. But before that, it was Christian Harris who went out with a shoulder injury. And then lastly, kind of the momentum changer of that entire first quarter was Devontae Smith's 87-yard punt return, which put Alabama up 10-3. Now Alabama trying to get inside the end zone for the second time. Najee Harris is going to be wrapped up. And Alabama will face a second and goal from the Arkansas 4. Alabama football just tweeted out, looks familiar to Desmond Howard, right? When he returned the Heisman Trophy, when he returned a punt return, right? Against, I think it was Ohio State. Everybody remembers that because he did the Heisman pose, which was awesome. And actually, that was the cover of NCAA Football 2014, which I still play. I currently have a dynasty going right now. I think that's the greatest game. And by the way, if you ever played NCAA basketball on PlayStation 3, that game was very underrated as well. Alabama trying to put more points on the board right here. Look for kind of mismatches. And looks like Alabama goes to Brian Robinson, who looks like maybe to the 2-yard line. All right, you're going to like this next play with Alabama lining up at the 1-yard line of Arkansas. You might be a little ahead of us, but it's going to be a touchdown for Najee Harris. His 21st touchdown of the entire season, his 41st touchdown of his career, which is just mind blowing. 8 plays, 49 yards, 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Alabama scores their second touchdown of the game. Alabama now leading Arkansas 17-3 with 12 minutes and 4 seconds left in the second quarter. The 8-play, 49-yard drive capped off by a 1-yard touchdown by Najee Harris. Najee Harris, I mean, we all talk about kind of, we're talking about Devontae Smith. We're talking about Mac Jones. But this guy, I mean, it's 21 touchdowns on the season, 41 touchdowns in his career. Pretty incredible. Second quarter, Alabama leading Arkansas 17-3. Be right back here on Bama Insider. All right, what's up, fam? 17-3 back here on the Bam Insider Watch Party. I like to leave up the commercial thing because it's, I mean, it takes forever. Oh, look at this. Little scoop and score. This Alabama defensive front, I'm telling you, look, this might not be a popular opinion, but let's go ahead and give the defense and Pete Golding credit. I mean, these guys are dialing up some great blitz packages, coming after Felipe Franks, the other quarterback, and getting to the quarterback. And this team has 5 sacks in this game. They have a forced fumble. They've only allowed 3 points. I mean, it's time that we give Pete Golding some credit for this second half adjustment throughout the season. You look what Alabama's done. Look, I mean, it's really incredible. The pass rush has been phenomenal. DJ Dell, Christian Barmore, Fedarian Mathis, Byron Young. The thing about the Alabama pass rush as well, especially with the defensive line, is they can rotate, they can mix and match. Brent, what's up, man? Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. And look, you guys are ahead of me, but you're going to like this next play because it's another touchdown for Najee Harris, his 22nd touchdown of this entire season. It's amazing. One play, 5 yards, 4 seconds. Alabama inside the end zone, 24-3. Game is getting out of control at this point. I mean, look, the line was 31 and people thought I was crazy for taking it. But look, I mean, Alabama is a buzzsaw right now. I know that first quarter wasn't what people wanted to see, but I'm telling you, they're too good. Maybe they needed to kind of wake up, but Devontae Smith, that punt return, completely rearranged this entire game. Alabama now scoring points quickly, and they are up 24-3 in the second quarter. I mean, come on. This team, I'm telling you, when you look across the landscape of college football, I get it. I mean, Florida's out there. You got Ohio State is trying to talk, Clemson, Notre Dame. People feel that they're up to this level. I'm telling you, this Alabama team, what they're doing is exceptional. That first quarter, I don't, the takeaways from that are that the defense kind of held their ground. And now that you've seen look, this is exactly what I was thinking right here. The Arkansas is just imploding, right? I'm with Mike here. Right, this is the watch party, and we're starting to watch Alabama really heat up. Crimson Tide up 24-3. Be right back. And this is also correct right here. These guys are playing like national championships. And look, I know that the offense wins games, and we talk about the offense, but I still think the old cliche, right, that's saying that Alabama, that defense wins championships. I'm telling you, look, the defense might allow more points these days, but the defense, the way that these guys are playing, especially the pass rush, is really going to provide another reason for this Alabama team to continue their quest for perfection. All right, I'll be right back on the Bama Insider Watch Party. You guys enjoy it. Alabama up now 24-3 right here on Bama Insider. Crimson Tide taking care of business. I'll be right back. All right, back here on Bama Insider. I'm telling you, I think, and I wrote it down in my notes, that the defense, I mean, is playing just, I think they're playing championship level football. And they really have been since that halftime against Georgia. I mean, this was a great play right here, by the secondary on Patrick Surtain. I mean, this defense is obviously a big catalyst to why Alabama is up right now, along with that punt return. It's tough to deal with these quarterbacks who are slippery, but Alabama again forces another punt by the Arkansas offense. I mean, you look at kind of the drive summary of this particular game. Arkansas punt, field goal, punt, fumble, and then a punt. On the other side for Alabama was a field goal, turnover on downs, a touchdown. So that's kind of been the difference of this particular game. Alabama just with 90 yards of offense, but 24 points, and a lot of that is because of the field position, and a lot of it is because 87 of those yards came from a punt return from Najee Harris, and then there was I think a 2-yard rushing touchdown for Najee, and then a 1-yard touchdown or something like that. So not a lot of over the yards. They're not there just yet. They will be, but Mac Jones 6 of 9, 47 yards. Najee Harris with 12 rushes for 40 yards. Miller Forrestall right now, Alabama's leading receiver, 2 receptions for 19 yards. Arkansas has 58 yards of offense in this particular game to Alabama's 112. And, the Crimson Tide continue to demonstrate that, like I keep saying, they're a buzzsaw. Now, Mac Jones able to complete it for 22 yards to John Mechie. I mean, look at this. Good pass protection. Remember, Chris Owens is playing right tackle for Evan Neal. Evan Neal is out today. He will be back next week. We'll hear from Nick Saban after this game. We'll get the post-game call-in show where I will take your calls. And today, when you guys call in after the show, I really want to hear about kind of your take about this Alabama defense. Man, that was a nice throw. It seems like there was 6 Arkansas guys around there, kind of in zone, and Mac Jones just kind of fires it in. Brian Robinson rushes for 1 yard. I mean, what are you going to do there, right? Good defense from Arkansas. I think we've all known this season that the Alabama offense has just been so powerful, and we were kind of waiting for that defense to match it. We never knew if they would or not. It looks like that is Kendall Randolph who's limping off the field as well. It's Kendall Randolph. He plays tight end and he plays offensive line. He literally switches jerseys on different formations for Alabama. That's really interesting to track. And looks like Brian Robinson is going to be short. But I think we've all been waiting to see this defense really emerge into what they are at the level they're playing at right now, right? Pass rush, really good in the secondary, tackling better. And I think we've certainly seen that from this defense since that Georgia game. I love it. So Alabama facing 3rd and 2. You're watching Bama Insider. Please hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, we appreciate it. Super chats greatly appreciated. It's going to be a 3-yard run. Actually, that's going to be a nice catch right there. So I was ahead of you. I'm looking at the stat broadcast right here. It was a completion to Brian Robinson for 3 yards. Great catch. It's like a one-handed grab. I want to see this again. Wow, what a grab by B-Rob. Alabama moving the chains right now. Great catch, and looks like another penalty. I think it's going to be on Arkansas again. That would be their 5th penalty of this game. It's going to be an offsides penalty. Arkansas in this game, 5 penalties. Let me find it on the stats that I have right here in front of me. I think they have 5 penalties for 25 yards in this game. Alabama has 1 penalty for, I think it's 5 yards. So, I mean, there hasn't been, you look at the 1 turnover from Arkansas. That was the fumble. That was a sack and fumble by Chris Allen, which led to a touchdown. But overall, I mean, Alabama's, they played pretty well. It's been Arkansas who's, had the turnovers and the penalties. And usually, what that contributes to, the end result of the game. 6-yard run by Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson in this game. Let's see if we can get He has 3 rushes for 10 yards, and then he has a reception also for three receptions for 16 yards. He's actually Alabama's leading receiver. We haven't really seen Mac Jones go over the top to let's see if we can see it right here. Another dump off to Brian Robinson. A lot of checkdowns in this particular game, right? You kind of look at the receiving stats for the Alabama Crimson Tide. It looks like this. 3 receptions to Brian Robinson for 16 yards, 2 receptions to Miller Forrestall, 19 yards, 2 receptions to Devontae Smith, 16 yards, 1 reception to John Mechie, 22 yards, 1 reception to Slade Bolden for 10 yards, and 1 reception to Najee Harris for 2 yards. I mean, that's 6 receivers for a total of 10 receptions for 85 yards. It's pretty incredible, how Mac Jones has been able to distribute the football this year. I know, there's been many times where he targets Devontae Smith. It feels like all game long. And dang, what? Did he catch that? He caught that. John Mechie caught that. Wow. And he took a shot as well. High points of football. If you're a young wide receiver out there, hey, and great blocking by Chris Owens right there. High points of football, gets his feet in bounds, takes a shot, hung on to the football. Wow. And when you look at kind of the next wide receivers who are going to, be the next to stand up at Alabama, I mean, you're looking at them, right? We haven't, who we haven't seen too much of, or if all today is Billingsley, right? We haven't seen him just yet. Maybe they'll, and they went to him right there. There's another flag. That's Arkansas's 6th penalty of this game. Alabama currently leading Arkansas 24-3. You're watching the Bama Insider Watch Along, 6 minutes and 47 seconds. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Yeah, I'm by myself today. Lost audio? Mike, I should be good. Can you guys hear me, or did you lose audio on ESPN? Because I should be good. Test. Can you guys hear me okay? Another penalty on Arkansas. That's 6th penalty of the game. Just when I was asking about Jaleel Billingsley, right? They went to him, and then it was looks like a pass interference call, I guess. Yeah. So it's going to be a little dump off to B-Rob, and gets to the end zone. Alabama with another touchdown. Crimson Tide now up 31-3. It was an 8-play, 72-yard drive, 3 minutes and 45 seconds. And Brian Robinson is in for the touchdown. 31-3. The Alabama Crimson Tide leading the Arkansas Razorbacks. This team continues to do what they want on both sides of the ball. And I really love the defense. I think early on, I looked to kind of that pass rush as my game ball. And the offense is kind of just executing. Mac Jones right now, 11-14, 105 yards. He hasn't thrown a touchdown pass. And you kind of look for those style points. I'm not sure if he's going to get any in this particular game, because, Alabama's kind of doing what they want, and kind of look to Nick Saban, and when is he going to call off the dogs at what point? And I'm also kind of wondering when we look to this, look to the second half of this game, when is Nick Saban going to bring out Bryce Young? And the reason we talked about Bryce Young earlier on Bama Insider this past week, and I think we all want to see more opportunities for him with the first team offense, because look, I get it. I mean, what's going around COVID and everything like that, you don't want to get caught in a situation where Bryce Young has to come in and play a game that he's not comfortable for, right? Not ready for. He's only thrown the ball, I think, 18 times. So, we'll see what he can do. We'll see if he gets some opportunities. He's going to, of course, in the second half. So I think all eyes are going to be on them. Mike's saying, don't call off the dogs. I agree. I mean, just, these players deserve to just go out there and do what they want. So, if they have to, play 3 quarters or whatever, then so be it. Sam saying a slow start has led to an explosion of points. Completely agree. Alabama certainly has found their rhythm. And it was all after Devontae Smith's punt return. After that, you saw a completely different game from Alabama. And Jackie's like, yeah, Sam, I know I'm way behind the game, but I mean, it is what it is. I have, the reason I am behind the game is because I have YouTube TV. So I don't have, I ditched, whatever it was. I think I had, I'm trying to go to it right now. I think I had Comcast, or then I had Xfinity, and then I had Dish, and they were overcharging me. So, it's all good. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I keep it with the stats in real time from our stat system. So it is what it is. But And Brett said I'm behind Kyle. It's all good. So, and the thing is, we're all watching it. You could be watching it from cable. You could be watching at the game. The game is faster, right? So at the game, we're like way behind the game, but you can still see the stats. So, whatever. And Mike is saying that Eli has COVID. So as well, the OG's like, I'm a streamer too. Yeah. So we're all watching in different ways. So it's all good. As long as you guys are here. I mean, the score is 31-3. I'll take a break and then I'll come back. I'm gonna go grab some a quick lunch down in my crib, and then I will come back right here on Bama Insider. But yeah, Jarvis was saying, how about Jalen Waddle's rehab? Right, that's got to be. I mean, man, do you guys think he's going to come back? I have no idea. Other than that, he's ahead of schedule. Look, if he comes back, that's going to be fantastic. So, and Roger's saying that you're ahead of me. So it's hilarious to see kind of where we all are. But the people who are at the game, they're number one. Then I think the people with cable, they're second. So it's funny to kind of see. I was wondering about Tyson. I was sneaky feeling that he is better than the third string standing. Yeah, the thing with Paul Tyson is, you know how many reps he's had this year? 0. He hasn't had any reps, which, I mean, look, I'm not the coach. I would never question Nick Saban. That's just not my place. I mean, you kind of just like trust in the process, and they're trying to figure out things, trying to, maximize what they can do against SEC only opponents. So, when he gets time to play, I think, we're all excited. I want to see Tyson play. I want to see what he can do. I want to see what Bryce Young can do. But there's only so many reps you're going against SEC opponents. But with that said, Alabama, they've been scoring, as many points as they want against all these SEC opponents. So I'll come back right here on Bama Insider. I just got some photos from the SEC, so I'm going to upload some fresh photos for you guys as we go into the halftime break. And then after this, we got the post-game call-in show right here on Bama Insider. And I'd appreciate you guys if you guys would call along. So I'll be back right now on the Bama Insider post-game call-in show. But give me a second. I'll be right back. I got to upload these photos, and I can only do so many things at once. I'll be right back. All right, I just got a photo in of Devontae Smith doing his thing. I'm gonna actually, you're probably gonna hear. I'm gonna do some work here on the fly, so you guys hang out inside the comment box. Alabama up 31-3 as Mac Jones gets ready to come out. I will be right back right here on Bama Insider. All right, what's up, fam? Back right here on Bama Insider. No, I'm getting a lot of comments about streaming. Look, this is I'm not sponsored by YouTube or whatever. I just found that in my findings that YouTube TV was best for our needs because we had cable, which was fine, but it was ridiculous the price, right? And then trying to cancel out, they were always trying to, there was these different fees or whatever. So we decided to go to YouTube TV, and then we still have like Netflix or whatever. So same thing that I'm sure all you guys have. We have Disney, and for the kids and stuff like that. So it's all good. Alabama currently up on Arkansas 31-3 right here on the game is on ESPN. This is just the Bama Insider watch party. Basically, the watch party is just a celebration of the college football season. In the past, I never even did these shows. I never even did the post-game shows because I was at the game. And then I was like, man, just watching these games, I like to watch them and just kind of, I write notes and I have kind of my notes because you guys have seen my the podcast that I do. It's kind of like a Sunday observation that I have on Sundays. I like to kind of take notes and watch the game. So I was like, I'll just do the watch party and call it a party or whatever. And people, they could watch it on TV. They could, watch it right here on Bama Insider. So I appreciate it. And don't feel like you guys have to be here. I keep saying that again and again. I'd be watching it anyway. So thank you very much if you're watching, and I appreciate it. Kimberly, thank you so much for all the support right here on Bama Insider. Here comes the Crimson Tide, 4 minutes and 57 seconds right now in this particular game. Alabama up 31-3, playing at a very high level. I think a lot of it is because of that defense, right? And this offense continues to move the field down. I do not have an update on Christian Harris. All I know is a shoulder injury on the first play of the game. That's Alabama's leading tackler. And I think he's questionable. In for him, Jalen Moody. So he'll be, we'll kind of look at his stats. I can look at his stats actually right now and see how he's done. Let's see. Alabama in this first half, 5 sacks. That's the most sacks that they've tied the most sacks. Last week they had 5 sacks against LSU. They have 5 sacks against Arkansas here today. So, one more sack and that'll be the season record. Let's see. Oh, Jalen Moody actually has 3 tackles, which is great. Mac Jones still leading the Alabama offense. I know people are already calling for Bryce Young. Well, hopefully we get to see him, in early in the third quarter. But I don't know. Sometimes Nick likes to leave these guys in. And think about this. He leaves them in because he wants them to get 4-quarter ready. And think about it. I mean, if you're a player and you're working all hard and you just want to play like 2 quarters or whatever, these guys deserve to play, right? The length of the game. So I don't know. It's up to Nick. Let's see. They're having some sort of Heisman talk, and Devontae Smith's on the screen. Mac Jones. The thing about the Heisman talk, and I know it's rat poison. I don't know if you guys probably don't even want to hear about the Heisman, but Mac Jones and Devontae Smith, if those guys are both elected, you got to think that they might cancel each other out in terms of the votes. And then I was actually speaking to a Heisman voter, and they said that they're still considering Trevor Lawrence in the conversation, granted what he does in the ACC championship game against Notre Dame, and the fact that because he had COVID and their games got postponed, that shouldn't be held against him. I don't know. So that's kind of it. Missouri tied with UGA at 14. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. 14-14. I appreciate it. If you guys had any scores, you guys could double them in the comment box. I'll put them on the screen because I'm obviously covering the Alabama game. But if you guys have score updates from around the league, or if someone could post the Colorado-Utah score, I'd appreciate it. I love the Buffs. I used to cover Colorado, and they have such a beautiful football stadium. They're playing in the snow. So if you have any other scores, you could dump them on, and I'll put them on the screen. I'd appreciate that. My name is Kyle Henderson at BamaInsider.com. After this particular video, I'll be right back on the postgame show right here on Bama Insider. Let's get some photos up here of how about a big Christian Barmore? Look at that. Barmore's such a beast. Alabama with 5 sacks and now kind of just grounding and pounding their way down the field against Arkansas as they try to get to the halftime break. All right. We have close to halftime. I'm gonna take some I'll be right back, and I'll take. I'm gonna go have some lunch, and then I'll be back. But I'll try to throw in some halftime stats. But you know what the game is like. I mean, it's 31-3, so we're kind of just moving past it. Oh, Mike has an update. All right, Michigan State 14, Penn State 10. Thank you very much. Mac Jones coming out with a play action, throwing a laser, which is dropped by John Mechie. I'm telling you, Sam. I'm telling you. See, and then with YouTube TV, you could basically just cancel, anytime you want, right? And then you could have it, for example, you could have it on your phone, or you could have it on TV. That's what so I have it hooked up to Apple TV. So you're behind like the real game, and I would like to be ahead because of I would like to be on cable doing something like this, but it works out. I mean, it's all good. People don't seem to mind, and it looks like more people are moving to streaming anyway. So Mac Jones, the dump off here to John Mechie. And I'm really interested to see which wide receivers will kind of step up next, right? For the Crimson Tide, because you're going to lose Devontae Smith, probably Jalen Waddle. You have Mechie coming back. You have Slade Bolden coming back. But what about some of these freshmen? And let me tell you this, next Wednesday, look, we got so much coverage coming your way. Bone and I, we have some great stuff coming your way. Mick Gillespie is going to be with us. We're going to have a fireworks show on Wednesday. So definitely stay tuned for our Wednesday show. I'm telling you, we're taking it to an entire new level right here on Bama Insider. Mac Jones steps up. Another connection looks like to Miller Forstall. Look at the pass distributions for Mac Jones today. He's gone to 6 receivers, 16 receptions, 139 yards, right? So, you look at Devontae Smith, he only has 3 receptions in this game for 22 yards. And Arkansas is trying to get it, take him out of the game. But he continues to, be effective. 16 of 20 in this game passing for 139 yards, right? I mean, you look at kind of his efficiency. It's really incredible. But this, you kind of look to like style points. And look, I know it's not about style points. Maybe it is for the Heisman Trophy, but he doesn't have any touchdowns. He didn't throw any touchdowns against Tennessee. I think, when the Heisman Trophy, you kind of look at those overall statistics. Now 17 of 21, complete to Slade Bolden for 17 yards. So, I think you got to get a touchdown in here, at some point if you're Mac Jones, because you look at Kyle Trask and the way that he's been playing and the, that they're one-dimensional. My goodness, that's good pass protection. Slade Bolden, wow, nice catch. That field is terrible, right? I remember when I played, I used to have like the really thick spikes. They were a little bit heavier, so your cleats were a little bit heavier, but they were for games like this. Like Mac Jones looks like he's almost slipping. I'm sure they have those heavy cleats in there, in sets, or they'll change them out at halftime. But that was a nice toss, bullet to Slade Bolden. Alabama trying to go up 38-3. Mac Jones checks off to B-Rob. Just run it, Mac. Tosses it up. Second and goal for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yeah, he did. He thought about running that. All right. I'll get some. I'll put up some footage here in a second. I'm not footage. I'll put up another photo in just a second. You guys, stay tuned. Oh, that's a nice photo right there. Look at that. It's a Chris Allen just. Wow. Oh, that was the fumble. Look at DJ Dale's eyes right here. That's cool. That's a nice photo. All right. B-Rob into the end zone. Alabama scores another touchdown. 13-play drive, 70 yards, 4 minutes and 31 seconds, capped off by Brian Robinson touchdown. Alabama now up 38-3 over Arkansas just before the halftime break. 38-3. Remember, the spread in this game was 31 points. I don't think I was talking to my good buddy Mick, and he was like, there's no way that they win by more than 31 points. I was like, look, this team, the way that they're playing and the way that this offense and defense is now playing, it's pretty incredible. So Alabama up 38-3. I'm going to go grab some lunch. I'll come back. I'll throw up the stats, and, I'll be right back here on BamaInsider.com. You guys stay in the chat box. I'm actually going to just list it as halftime. All right, I'll be right back on BamaInsider.com. Enjoy the halftime. All right, fam, what's up? It's Kyle Henderson back here on the Bama Insider Watch Along, Watch Party, whatever you want to call it. Brian Robinson trying to return it out of shadow of his own end zone. Was that? I think that was Brian Robinson. Alabama up right now. Let me change the scoreboard as we have entered the third quarter. I mean, the line on this game, it was 31, right? You look at what Alabama's been able to do in this, really the second quarter was pretty dynamic and dominating. And that's the thing about Alabama is, I mean, their ability to put points on the board quickly, often. I think, kind of looking at the major storyline in that first quarter was the pass rush and Devontae Smith's kind of game-changing punt return that really changed the momentum. And as we see, Mac Jones coming out still with the starters inside this game. You're seeing a heavy dose of Brian Robinson. I'm kind of curious to see if there was anything up with Najee Harris. Maybe, I mean, he has 14 rushes for 46 yards and 2 touchdowns. Maybe they're just giving him a blow. I don't know. But we really haven't seen too much of Najee in this later part of kind of the second quarter, the third quarter. So something to keep tabs on. Probably nothing, to be concerned about. Probably just giving him a blow. I mean, they're up 38-3. But Mac Jones is still in, right? And so is the first team offense. Another completion out to Miller Forrestall. So check this out. I know I wasn't able to show the stats. Alabama didn't send us the stats for halftime. But Miller Forrestall is Alabama's leading receiver in this game. You're going to hear a screenshot. Don't be alarmed. Let me see. Get this for you guys. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Don't be alarmed by the screenshot. I'm just taking a picture of the statistical pass chart so I can kind of further elaborate on my point about Mac Jones. All right, I'm going to provide this up in the graph right here. So Alabama in this game, Miller Forrestall, 6 receptions for 52 yards. Now, of course, things can change because, this was real time up to halftime. And then you add Miller Forrestall's 1 reception. But you kind of see John Mechie with 46 yards and then Devontae Smith, 3 receptions for 22 yards, right? So 6 receivers, 16 receptions, 165 yards. Kind of interesting. I think going forward, a lot of it is going to be that, to stop Devontae Smith, right? Try to slow him down, but the guy can make plays. But I mean, this is the first time that we've really seen Miller Forrestall lead the team in receptions, and really Devontae Smith only 3. And in fact, in this game so far, Mac Jones has not thrown a touchdown pass, and I'm not sure if he will. So I just wanted to kind of, add that to the screen. Alabama up 38-3. Alabama probably going to try to take the air out, but then here's Mac Jones going out to another wide receiver, and that is going to be Slade Bolden for a first down. Alabama continuing to move the chains. Right now they're showing a graphic of Bear Bryant, who won 6 national championships, Nick Saban, who's won 6 national championships. If Nick Saban's able to win, another championship. I mean, I think he's already the greatest, right? A lot of people are going to debate that. Why? I mean, it's different time periods. The game has changed so much since the great Bear Bryant coached Alabama. So let's just, be appreciative of, Javon Baker got blown up there. If you've ever been to Tuscaloosa, they have a museum on Bear Bryant, and you walk through, and it's really incredible. Kind of take you through the past of Alabama football. I was thinking, how about just add a second level and just, you walk up the stairs and it's just the Nick Saban Museum as well, right? I appreciate it, Kimberly. Thank you so much. Yeah, Anthony, that was Baker's first catch, I believe, and it went for no yards. I want to see him get involved, but I get it. I mean, all these guys are, they're young. There's, oh my goodness, a lot of slips on this field. And you kind of look with the bad field. I mean, that could lead to injuries, right? These guys slipping, their legs being in bad positions. So maybe that's another reason Najee out. I have no idea. Yeah, like Sam saying, I mean, the field is just terrible. Thank you for watching the Watch Party. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Appreciate the thumbs up. Super chats also appreciated. Super chats just like tips, but thumbs up goes a long way. Really, the super chats for me just go back to the staff because the staff does such a great job behind the scenes. There's a lot of moving parts, and like to keep everybody fed and taken care of. And another connection to John Mechie. Wow, nice. Was a big game by Mechie. That was a 23-yard connection. Now Mechie has 5 receptions for 72 yards. Mac Jones, 23 of 28 in this game, 207 yards. Still looking for that first touchdown throw. I don't know if he's going to get it, or not. How Alabama wants to kind of finalize this game and finalize his possessions, but they're still going to the air, and you have to, I think, right? I mean, another check down to Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson now 4 receptions in this game for 22 yards. Miller Forstall, leading receiver. So Alabama's still throwing the football here in the third quarter, moving the football down the field. I mean, you got to, right? I mean, you got to continue your game plan. I mean, even though the Alabama's up so much, you just can't take the air out of the game. I mean, they're going to at some point, but I mean, my goodness. I mean, Alabama's getting to that point. They're so good. They'll get up on teams by halftime. I mean, you look at the fact that, check this out. This is going to blow you away. Alabama put up 45 points against LSU at halftime, right? That was last week. And then they put up 38 points on the scoreboard against Arkansas. Now, I get it. One of those touchdowns was a special teams touchdown, but the point is that they can score 45 a half, 38 a half. They could just put so many points. They could really be beating these SEC teams by what? They could be putting up like 70, 80, honestly, if they really wanted to, because they call off the dogs later in this game, right? Hopefully, this third quarter and fourth quarter, they fly by so we can get to the postgame show. To be honest, truth be told, I'm looking forward to kind of enjoying my Saturday night. I'm still, trust me, look, you guys know me. I mean, I put a lot of work into this, so I'm going to definitely grind out. So I got to do the post-game show. I'm going to try to do my Sunday observations so that can be ready. I'm going to work on the Pro Football Focus grades. I have a list of all these items that I like to take care of. So it's not like I ever take a break during the football season. But I mean, I love what I do. So this is what I do anyways. Mac Jones back to pass, looking like he's trying to find someone in the end zone. Connects with Jace McClellan. Good to see McClellan, the freshman out there. What's up? It's your boy, Chris Fields. It's your boy, Chris Fields. I love the username. Chris, a caller right here on Bama Insider as well. Appreciate it. Alabama trying to punch another touchdown in. And as you can see the stats on the screen, Mac Jones, 24-29, 208 yards. His efficiency rating is always so high. I'd like to see him get a touchdown in this game just for kind of some style points when you look at the Heisman Trophy. This drive, 13 plays, 80 yards. That was similar to Alabama's last drive as well. They're just so balanced, right? They can run, they can pass. Here goes Mac Jones, makes a defender miss, gets stuck, and then he throws an interception, which is going to be almost returned for a touchdown. Oh, wrapped up by Jace McClellan. Yuck. This field is terrible. I don't like the throw there. Kind of stepped up. I mean, he kind of looked to, maybe dumping it away. I don't know, but let's see on the replay his footing, right? Steps up, makes a defender miss, kind of slips and then throws it, which was to Billingsley. And then luckily, Jace McClellan is able to track him down for the interception. I'll be right back here on Bama Insider. Alabama still leads 38-3. All right, what's good, fam? Looks like there's a targeting call. The booth is looking at it. Mac Jones just threw an interception. Alabama clearly going to be victorious on this game. Showing a good photo right here of the defense, Christian Barmore. Okay, targeting. Disqualified. More positive news for the Alabama Crimson Tide. We got a good buddy, Mick Gillespie. Give me a thumbs up, Mick, when you're ready to go, man. Mick's joining us for the watch party. We're going to have him on in just a second. Arkansas has been playing a little dirty, right? They tried to twist Devontae Smith's ankle. Then there was that targeting call right here. So this guy will be ejected, disqualified for the game, from the rest of the game, whatever. So going to really matter? Probably not. Alabama up 38-3. There was an interception on Mac. Mac trying to put at least one touchdown on the board. As I've spoken about before, the Crimson Tide up 38-3. Going by Mick Gillespie in just a minute. You look at kind of the offensive production. Check this out. You're going to love this stat. Alabama's offense has 306 yards of offense. Arkansas has 70 through 3 quarters of play. Okay. So they're going to take that interception off the board and give Alabama the ball back. And guess what's going to happen? Yeah. They're going to cap it off with a touchdown run by Brian Robinson, his third on the day, and Alabama up now 45-3. It was a 14-play, 89-yard drive. And people are furious about this call, but hey, things go well for Alabama, right? And the Crimson Tide up now 45-3 up on Arkansas. Brian Robinson with his third touchdown. Brian Robinson, 13 carries, 54 yards today, 3 touchdowns, also has 4 receptions for 22 yards in this game. Crimson Tide continue to roll, and we'll be right back here on Bama Insider to update the scoreboard real fast. This is just, I mean, these two teams shouldn't even play each other anymore. It's sad. All right, be right back here on Bama Insider. What's going on, fam? Kyle Henderson, BamaInsider.com. People are already calling for Bryce Young to step in and get some playing time. Kyle Henderson at BamaInsider.com. Hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. This is the Bama Insider watch party, watch along, whatever you want to call it. We're entering the third quarter. Right after this particular video will be the postgame call-in show where I'll take your calls and take your comments right here on BamaInsider.com. It feels weird. Usually we're doing the postgame show, SEC after dark. It's going to be weird with the lights on and, still being able to enjoy the rest of the day right here on BamaInsider.com. Hello, we see you, Maria. We appreciate you being here right here. Kimberly, of course. Muncho is calling for Bryce Young. Young Effect is calling for Nick Saban to be president. Mick, give me a thumbs up when you're ready to go. Appreciate it. All right. Mick Gillespie, 3-2-1. Mick, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? Just watching this football game and not real happy with Arkansas. They're just kind of dirty today, huh?
These two teams shouldn't even play anymore.
I'm surprised by the dirtiness, the ankle grab on Smitty, the guy that just got ejected. Like, Alabama doesn't play that way. It's not like they're out there talking a bunch of smack. They're just basically beating a team that's inferior. I'm glad that the SEC played the 10 games. I mean, but this is why you almost feel like the ACC was smart just not playing that extra game because you don't want to see anyone get hurt.
I mean, you get to a game like this. I mean, for the last couple of times, I guess, looking at Arkansas and Alabama, every time I've been around, Arkansas it's been a complete beatdown. It's not exciting. It's not entertaining. It's a waste of time. Mac Jones hasn't even been able to get any stats action, So Brent and Kimberly giving you some love right here.
Yeah, what's up, guys? This is my, like watching not working gear right here. Like got my hat on. I'm thinking of you. I'm like watching on my phone and I got to get on here and say hey to everybody. Yeah, Najee's another big game. Mac Jones, no touchdowns today.
And this will be, if he doesn't throw a touchdown, I would assume we see your boy Bryce Young at some point.
Yeah. I hope that they let Bryce Young play quarterback today instead of just handing the ball off.
But this will be the thing, Mick. Think about it. Mac Jones will have 2 games this season out of 10 in the regular season where he hasn't thrown a touchdown.
Right. And
right?
still.
Yeah. And you got to think with kind of that punt return, that excites people, that kind of Devontae Smith kind of continues to creep up. You look at Devontae Smith in this particular game, he only has 3 receptions for 22 yards. So in terms of like style points, Alabama certainly didn't get those.
No, and I think Arkansas has had a really interesting game plan. They've taken the deep pass away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've made Mac kind of, check down a lot. And they've challenged Alabama to run the ball.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. So today's been a great day. It's you're not going to have a 400-yard, 5-touchdown game every week if you have a great running back and you hand the football off to him, and Najee came in with 20 touchdowns. What does he have today? 3 more?
Yeah.
Yep. So, you got to factor that in as well. But I want Bryce Young to get a chance. I want to see the offensive line, the young guys, the backups get in. But how about this defense for Alabama? Barrymore has he's starting to become a beast up front. I've enjoyed watching the defensive line and, the bull rush. And when your 4 can beat their 5, that's when you win against these spreads.
Yeah, I think so. I think Christian Barmore has been fantastic today. Alabama actually has the most sacks that they've had this entire season. They have 6 total sacks in this game. Christian Barmore has 2 of those sacks. And, he's been playing fantastic. He's a guy that we've talked about, for, several seasons now that we knew he was going to be that guy. And I think this is really the time where he's been playing his best over the course of these last, 5 or 6 games or whatever. Also with 2 sacks, you have Will Anderson, and then you have Chris Allen, who also had a sack, which turned into a fumble. So overall, Alabama's defense has been playing fantastic with 6 sacks. And, the thing about it, Mick, is like, I want people really to understand that Golding has transformed this defense during the second part of the season. We keep reverting to that second half of the Georgia game when something changed. And I really want, people to at least somehow give credit to Pete Golding, because, so many times something positive will happen on the defensive side and they'll be like, oh, that was good job, Nick Saban. Right.
Yeah.
Whereas but if the offense makes a play, they're like, oh, great job, Sarkisian. You know what I'm saying? So look, and when something bad happens, right? Like the interception that wasn't called an interception, they're like, fire Pete Golding. It was his fault. So I think the thing is, we got to stop making Pete Golding like the scapegoat for everything bad that happens to Alabama. Because if anything, he's done a really good job of transforming this defense. Look, I have no idea who's going to keep their job, who's going to change jobs. Everything always changes in college football. There's no loyalty. Who knows? I have no idea. But at least during this part of the season, Pete Golding has done a good job. So I'm kind of tired of the people who keep pointing to Pete Golding, fired him because, something went wrong. Look, the defense has changed. Look what's happening, Alabama in a world of college football where you score like 28 points is like the norm for everyone to score 28, 35 points or whatever it is. And, to only be allowing 3 points today to Arkansas. Yeah, Arkansas is trash, but still the defense is still playing inspired and coming up with these creative blitz packages that, has created a headache for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, look, I think this is a pretty scrappy Razorback team. I'm disappointed by some of the dirtiness, but to hold them to 3 points so far, I'm impressed by it. I think the SEC is really good this year. The teams that have 3 wins, if they had a regular schedule, would all be probably 7-win teams or 6-win teams. And the problem is that they have to play each other, but. Arkansas, they're not out there just being pushed over. Alabama's just that good right now. I mean, this offense is just clicking at a different level. And, the playmakers are making plays. So I think I think you just get everybody off the field. I saw Smitty's got his helmet off. Devontae's been just amazing. You got, I think Mac's probably done. Najee's probably done. It's just, look, get everyone on the sideline, let the young guys play the rest of this game, I think, and then, get ready for Florida because, the playoffs start now.
Mick, do you know what the score off the top of your head was between Florida and Arkansas?
Oh, no. I know it was close, though.
63-35.
Yeah, see, I remember it was close in the first half, and then Florida just kept scoring. And I thought that Arkansas played pretty good football against Florida. Obviously Alabama's defense is what's going to separate them from the other teams that can score a lot of points.
All right, Bryce Young's in the game with third quarter, 5:55. Let's mark that down.
Then I think these are important snaps for him.
Yeah, I know. And they got to let him throw the ball, right? I mean, look,
quarterback here.
But I think everybody, knows that he's got to somehow, show that he can facilitate this offense.
Yeah.
Another run, right? You're like, what?
No, he's fun to watch too, though.
What's that?
I said McClellan's fun to watch too, though.
Yeah, he is. But I mean, look, let's just play devil's advocate here. Something happens to Mac Jones, COVID, whatever, and this guy has to step in. It's not Bryce Young's fault. Like, can he beat the opposing team? We have no idea.
Right.
We've only seen him throw 18 times.
Yeah, I love watching the guys watching Bryce Young, just kind of waiting for that moment where he's comfortable at that quarterback spot, but this is the problem that he has when he comes into the football game. It's like we're playing, Gene Stallings football here.
Yeah.
In the, 1994 Alabama, Jay Barker's going to hand the ball off. Sherman Williams has it, run up the middle, it's like, hey, let's let this kid throw the ball. I mean, I get it, but it's 45-3. I mean, so if he makes some mistakes, and they score, that's all right. I don't think it matters. I think what matters is what you said, and I agree with that, is he's got to be ready to step up if he's needed.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing. It's not Alabama's fault that they're up, 45-3. I mean, I think you still got to go out and execute your game plan and be like, look, we're going to go out there and we're going to put points on the board this drive, no matter how we have to do it, because we have to show that Bryce Young is capable of leading the team down the field. Can he hand it off? Yeah, anybody can hand the football off. Put Slade Bolden back there. He can hand the football off, but I mean, let this guy's throw. It's kind of, it's just frustrating to see, because I think, just again, being devil's advocate, if somehow they get caught in a situation, this guy has to come off the bench and make some plays, and he hasn't found any sort of rhythm, it's going to put him in a bad position, and it's going to put Alabama in a bad position.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now he comes in and it's run on first down, run on second down, throw on third down, and then off the field you go. He would be playing behind that offensive line, and like we talk about Mac Jones. I mean, it's the offensive line. No offense to Mac or Najee or Smitty, who are having great years, but it's the offensive line that's having the best year of all those.
Yeah.
I mean, they bust holes for the run game. They give the quarterback a ton of time to make the passes. This offensive line is as good as I've ever seen. Oh
yeah. I mean, they're incredible. And look, if Arkansas starts to get some yards here, I don't want people start to point the finger. Okay. It's 45-3 and Alabama just ran the football, twice.
You're going to go shut that down now, huh?
Yeah. I mean, seriously, they're going to be like, oh, Pete Golding's trash. He got a first down. It's 45-3, and they allowed, 2 touchdowns against LSU in the, after they scored in one play drives or whatever. I mean, it's like you can only keep the offense off the board for so many times. The defense is playing unbelievable. 6 sacks. Think about it. This Arkansas team put up 35 points on Florida. Look, I want to build up the Florida and Alabama hype just as bad as anybody, right? We want to talk about it. We want to maximize that. But is it anyone out there in their right mind think that Florida and Alabama is going to be close?
Right.
The short answer is there any team out there? It's kind of like everybody's seen Troy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Achilles, slices that dude in the beginning, and then he just goes up to everybody else and he's like, is there no one else? That's kind of what I feel Alabama is like. Could it be Notre Dame? No. Are you kidding me? The only is Clemson.
We'll find out. I worry about feeling confident, overconfident, because I think that it can backfire. But I like this team and their motivation and their focus so much that I just think they're going to go out and play their best football against, whoever comes in the way. And I mean, when your offensive line blocks like they do, that kind of, that's going to help you weather a lot of different storms.
Yeah. Oh, we got a score update. Ohio State and Michigan, 0-0. Thanks, Mike. So Ohio State and Northwestern will play in the Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame and Clemson and Alabama, Florida.
35-14 Georgia over Missouri.
What was that, Mick?
35-14 Georgia leading.
Oh, so you got that game.
I got that one, but I'm a little worried about my lock, and I haven't seen what the score is. But Talia's injured and not playing for Maryland today, so that messes up my.
He's hurt too.
He's hurt too. Yeah, Talia.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know, but I got up this morning and these guys at Maryland had like a tailgate show. And I'm like, well, I'm watching it, and I just want to because I like Maryland football, and I want it to be like, hey, you guys should do this. Like, go do your show at the Floor Bama and get it sponsored by Yingling.
Yeah,
like a couple guys just sitting at a table talking, no background.
Maryland and what do they do? Football and crab cakes, right? That's what they say. Wedding Crashers. Yeah,
no, I mean that's it, man. Like I was supposed to. I'll see if I can find the picture for you guys. Because I don't want to, I don't want to mess this up. So what I'm going to do is, as we're talking, I'm going to put a picture in here for everyone to look at.
Just send it. What is it?
I'm going to load it in here, so I'll pop it up on the screen. It's pretty funny. It went crabbing this morning. We were supposed to do crabs today. And
thanks, Cody, for the update. Northwestern 28, Illinois 3. Oh, man. The second half of the games, I hope this poor young man from Arkansas is okay. 6'3", 240. That's a big boy. Jeez. Yeah, me too, Phyllis. 45-3, 2 minutes, 17 seconds to go. You're watching the Bama Insider watch along, watch party. After this, fam, we got the call-in show. I want to take your calls and comments, talk about this Alabama defense. And here we go. Look at Javon Baker. Woo. Wow.
He's
that
another
good.
guy that I've been excited about seeing.
Wow. That looked good. That looked really good. More of that, please. I'm going to notate that as well. Is it still the third quarter? Jeez. I'm going to write that down. I want to talk about I don't want to forget about that. Man, he looked fast.
He's one guy that I wish we played more, or Alabama played more. I really want to see him.
Yeah, he plays. They just don't throw the football to him until then, which looked great.
All right, you ready? This is from earlier today. We put the crab traps out on Thursday.
Oh, awesome.
So absolutely nothing in the crab trap.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Wait, show that again.
You want to see it again?
Yeah. That was today? Zoom in on that.
This morning, yeah, like empty. Like,
can you do a zoom?
I don't know. It's just
oh, you loaded it. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, it's loaded on there. But yeah,
oh man, that's like in Forrest Gump when they go and they try to they're at the beginning when they're trying for shrimp.
Yeah.
Toilet seat.
It's like we're out there and I'm like, I'm getting all the stuff together for crab cakes and beer, like a Maryland type day. And I'm going to watch the afternoon slate. And then I go get those traps and nothing. I've never seen that before.
Bryce,
you figure one crab would stumble in there, don't you? I mean,
Bryce Young with another completion, this time to the outside. He got Butch Jones on the screen right now. I'm kind of just using him kind of like sideline to sideline. Yeah, I don't know, 2 or 3, 21 yards. That second pass he threw to Javon Baker was really interesting. Yeah, that sucks, Mick. But is it not crab? Like time for crab, or is this
down here on the golf? I don't know. Like,
so what does this like contribute to? Just like bad luck?
Bad spotting, I guess. But we moved them and put them somewhere else. But yeah, I pulled those empty crab traps up. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm a little bit behind you, but I see Butch.
What do you have? Because we were talking about that earlier on the show. Do you have cable?
I got I internet. Now I don't have cable. I'm a cut the cord guy.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying to everybody as well, because we have YouTube TV and we're behind people who have cable and who are behind people who are at the game. But I love the streaming setup, because you can, for example, if you wanted to like cancel for a month or whatever, you just cancel and then you just renew your subscription.
Yeah, here's funny right here. Definitely.
Yeah, it's for real.
Hey, look, man, normally I'm pretty good with my my crabbing, but obviously not this time.
Hey fam, we got the post game call-in show right after this, right here on Bama Insider. I'll cut the stream with like 4 minutes or whatever. And Perry's got some breaking news. Is it really like opting out at this point, or is it like just quitting? Right?
Yeah, I think it's more like quitting to me, but I just can't believe that everyone can come back again next year, and it doesn't count against him.
I know. Like you're seeing you're seeing Alabama's next running back right now, Brian Robinson with 3 touchdowns. I mean, look, he's a senior, I know, but what type of NFL draft grade is he going to get? I think a guy who certainly needs to come back. Bama Insider post-game show right after this. So I'm going to stop the stream with like 5 minutes, then come back, start a new stream. I'll take your calls and comments. And then we got the Nick Saban press conference as well. So all that following right here on Bama Insider. We appreciate you guys joining us today. Mick Gillespie stopping in just to say what's up for a few as Alabama continues to be a buzzsaw in the SEC and kind of turn the page to the game next week in the SEC championship against the Florida Gators. Alabama, I think, already a 2 touchdown favorite going into that one, which I'll definitely take.
Yeah. I mean, the games, like, they're all epic at this point. Florida's the perfect team that play in the championship game because they're better than the rest of the league, but not Alabama. But they have the team that potentially could beat Alabama.
Yeah.
So it's the next week's game. I mean, you can't think in terms of, hey, I want to play the first half. I mean, you got to be ready to play 4 quarters of football, and it may be a really high scoring game. And from here on out, I think it's going to be that way. And no matter who they play, and they say they play Ohio State, they beat them, and then they play Clemson. It's going to be a lot of scoring. And it just feels to me like it's going to it's probably going to be that. Now, Notre Dame's getting a lot of credit for beating Clemson this year. And I could see them being the number 4 seed and maybe setting up Ohio State, Clemson, Bama, Notre Dame. But if Florida wins, I mean, that, maybe it's Alabama and Notre Dame, but Bama is a 4 seed. Notre Dame is the 1. I mean, think about that.
I mean, if Notre Dame wins, if they beat Clemson, I mean, who knows what the committee is going to do? I mean, surely they wouldn't put Alabama at the the number 2 spot. But if Alabama was to lose to Florida, which I don't think is going to happen, you kind of look to where they would slide, because then you would have Florida and Alabama both. And at this point, Alabama's in the playoffs regardless. Getting a small taste of Roydell Williams in right now for the Alabama Crimson side. He just picked up a first down.
What do you think of we didn't talk about this enough when we did our show on Tuesday when the rankings came out, but what did you think of Iowa State moving ahead of Cincinnati?
I mean, not really surprised. I mean, they're trying to keep they're trying to keep the look at this, Bubba.
I love that.
And how about this? Look, go get a nugget right here at Wendy's. I don't even know if you can get a $1 menu. Appreciate it, Dwayne. Dwayne came through with a $25 super chat earlier, so we're up to 26.
Oh, there you go.
So I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Dwayne. We appreciate everything you do right here on Bama Insider. Yeah, I think Iowa State, they're trying to keep, the pulse of the Big 12 somehow in there, but it's so nice that the Big 12 is out, just because I was so tired of seeing them in the playoffs, because every single time I knew that Alabama was going to beat them like a drum, and they did,
right.
Oh my goodness, fumble. Man.
So you guys are ahead of me right now, so.
Yeah, watch, you're not going to be happy. Was that was Roydell Williams, and the ball just came out.
Yeah, I'm still, like maybe like a play behind. So they're like gutting Arkansas, and then you're telling me
that team's bad, man. I mean, I'm not impressed at all with anything that they've been able to do. I'm not impressed with any.
Oh, that is a terrible fumble right there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's terrible. It just knocked it out of his hands.
He just dropped it.
This game, man. 45-3. These second halves of these games are just, man, they're just like not entertaining.
Have you ever been to Arkansas before to any games there?
No. I heard they have a great stadium. I guess, kind of like now living in the Southeast, I'd like to kind of visit all those areas. I heard that, was it either Little Rock or Fayetteville? One of those cities is pretty cool to check out and has like a pretty cool vibe. I haven't been. What about you?
Yeah, no, I have. I mean, when I was doing play-by-play for the women's basketball team at Alabama, we would take charter flights, which I'm sure they still do, from Tuscaloosa, that little airport there, Bama Air, and we'd fly wherever. And I used to have this really bad fear of flying.
Mm-hmm.
I hated it. And like no matter what happened, I never was comfortable, which this particular flight I'm going to tell you about cured me of all those issues. Max never been afraid of flying since. But so we go every time we went to Arkansas, whether it be for whatever reason, seems like I would end up over there. The trip back over Mississippi, Arkansas, Mississippi would always be very, very turbulent,
Yeah.
So we're coming back through there, and there was like a couple of years where the state of Alabama made the different, any state institution had to take the lowest bid, and so we ended up with the lowest bid for for charter aircrafts. So we were getting picked up in these planes that were just hunks of junk, like I'm talking about, like you remember the movie Major League, they're on the plane, like everybody's scared and the lights are going off. I mean, these planes were like the inside were dry rotted and the bathroom leak. So like like you couldn't go to the bathroom. And like I remember there was one flight, like the last 6 rows were like off limits because the bathroom was leaking, I mean, and every time we would go somewhere, it would be, the plane would break down. Like we'd get stuck, like the basketball game would be over and we'd have to go back to the airport because the plane needed parts. And this was happening. Like we got stuck in Orlando. We got stuck in Lexington one time. And sometimes you'd have to stay an extra day because they couldn't get the part there. Right. And they didn't have another plane to fly in. So that definitely played into my fear of flying. So we're coming back from Arkansas. And you could see a storm ahead, it was like blue skies, but then you could see it was just really dark. I mean, very dark. And so we're like flying back through and I'm looking ahead and I see like this, this just dark cloud. And I'm like, all right, we're going to fly around this. I mean, it's what you do in planes, right? No, we got this hunk of crap plane and we're going to go right through the middle of this like storm. Wendell Hudson, he had his number retired. He was our basketball coach and and he's a great guy. And I remember I was in the back of the plane watching a movie with Jeremy Dobbins, who was the trainer at the time. And I'm like, okay, we're definitely not gonna, we're definitely not gonna go through this storm, right? That's exactly what we did. We went right through the storm, and when we got in there, like all of a sudden you go in and it's like a southern storm, man. I mean, it goes from like very bright white clouds to like pitch black. And I joked that we were on top of the lightning bolts. Like I could see the lightning bolts form and you could hear them crashing. And I mean, it was just really scary. So the plane, you get in there and the plane starts dropping like, 3,000 feet in a second. Like people would have like a drink and the drink would be in the air and then it would fall right back into the cup. And that happened. I mean, I thought we were going to crash. And it just came to this one point where like everybody freaked out and everybody on the plane. And there was one coach that let out this scream like, ah, and it made me laugh so much that I said, if I make it back from this trip from Arkansas, I'll never worry about flying again. Cause it was literally the worst trip ever. And when we hit the ground, I mean, like, everybody was white. They were pale from basically their stomach being up in their throat. But every time I think of Arkansas and going out there, I laugh about that flight. And when I run into Wendell Hudson and the rest of those people that were there that day, like we all sit around and just talk about that particular plane and that flight. Because if it was going to crash, you're going to crash on that plane. Roll Tide.
Alabama up 45-3, 11 minutes in this painful second half of the game. Hey, Dwayne, we see your comments. People are out. It's probably his computer, guys. He's a frequent poster here. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Good tackle right there by Jalen Moody, who is playing in for Christian Harris. We just listened to Mick's Cure for the Fear of Flying, basically going through the storm. Landon Dickerson with some ice on, but he looks fine. Crimson Tide rolling, looking to their 10th victory. They'll be undefeated during the regular season against SEC. I think that's pretty incredible feat, no matter, how you spin it. There's none of those softball games to get to 10-0. which I love. I love the SEC schedule. I wish that, we never go back the other way around it. I know in 2021, New Mexico State, my alma mater, is back on the schedule. So if you think this game was boring against Arkansas, just wait till they play the poor Aggies, who didn't even get to play. Actually, the Aggies were one of the only Division I teams that didn't get to play this year. They're independent, and they had their schedule set. And then when everybody went to their conference, they didn't have a schedule anymore. So right. I don't even know if they're going to have a team. Check this out. This is the most interesting thing. So last year, New Mexico State came up here, and Alabama paid them $1.5 million, okay, to their athletic program. This next year, they're paying them 1.9. I don't know the finances at New Mexico State, but think about it like this. New Mexico State, if they come up and they get that payday, Alabama football could theoretically be saving New Mexico State's football program just with that one game.
Yeah.
Those 2 games. It's incredible. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's so much revenue at Alabama. It could save a program completely that nobody even cares about. I think it's amazing. So while I'm saying I want to see all SEC, I still want to see the Aggies play football, I guess. So maybe be careful what you wish for. But you're watching the Bama Insider postgame. I'll cut the stream probably with like 5 minutes, and then I'll start up the news stream, and you guys can call in and kind of give me your calls and comments as Alabama kind of turns the page to Florida. I know there's that 24 hours to celebrate this victory over kind of an opponent that we all kind of saw this coming right here on Bama Insider. I mean, 31 points. I thought it was a gimme. This team is such a buzzsaw right now, playing at such a high level. And we talked about this earlier, Mick. I mean, it's almost better that they kept playing this game this next week, because you stay away from COVID, you stay in a rhythm, as opposed to you have an open week and maybe some players go home. And, when players go home, we can't, like Saban said, we don't know where Uncle Tommy's been. Trey Sanders got in a car wreck when he went back home to Florida. So it's better when these guys stay within their bubble.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I thought that made a lot of sense. Be interesting to see if anything happens with Notre Dame and Clemson, since they gave them the week off. But then you see those injuries and some of the dirty plays that Arkansas was involved in today. And, you just don't want to see anyone get hurt either. But I think we've passed that point. Disappointed, though, when you see someone trying to grab like Smitty's foot, like twist his ankle. I mean, that's just ridiculous, man. Very Bush League.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it happens probably more times than we know about. And we're still trying to figure out 2 injuries that we'll follow up on. We got Christian Harris went out in the first play of the game with a shoulder injury. He didn't play the rest of the game. Jalen Moody in for him. And then you also have something happened with Najee Harris. I don't think it's anything serious. I think it was basically, it might be like tight hamstrings. I mean, does he really need to even play the second half? Does anybody really need to be playing in the second half? So, we'll keep you, kind of posted, on those when we talk to Nick Saban. So 2 things to kind of keep watch of. I think, really you could dissect this game by just literally the second quarter, really. The first quarter, nothing happened. It was 3-3. So Devontae Smith returned that punt 87 yards. And then Alabama had 5 sacks in the second quarter, which led to a lot of Alabama points. Third quarter, not much changed. And now we're in the fourth quarter, and we're just kind of sitting here, listening to our fear of flying and talking about maybe some evening plans for Saturday night. I mean, it's been this game, this fourth quarter, I mean, what have we really learned, if anything, right? Besides Alabama getting now their 7th sack of the season. And that's by Shane Lee. A lot of people asking, where's Shane Lee? Is he still on the team? Yeah, he just doesn't play anymore, because he's not the inside linebacker, the starter. But he has, got his first sack of the season right now. After having 700 reps during last season, he's had like under 10 this season.
And then next year he might have 700 again.
Who knows? Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people didn't, weren't a fan of him, but I'll tell you what, last year he was up. I think he had over 70 tackles. He had over 700 snaps. So he was durable. He was dependable. Right here, we see him getting the quarterback. So hopefully things, get better for him as, as the season goes forward. Oh, they got to the punter on that one. It's probably going to be a roughing running into the punter.
Georgia turning it on right now, 49-14.
Oh man, here comes Kirby Smart. These guys are going to be ready for the SEC championship. Wait, no, they're not. Another thing with Georgia, it's just like it's the same stuff with them. They're never going to be that team that they want to be unless they change their offense.
Well, I think they're going to have to do that.
Yeah, if they went up tempo and then they would be dangerous. I mean, they would be. Who knows what would happen with them in Alabama? But every single time we know what's going to happen. They're going to run the football. They're going to have an average quarterback, and they're going to lose the game. It's the same stuff. 7 sacks in this game. Hey, Chris, if you were a part of BamaInsider, I put a detail on every single player. I'll show you guys real quick. I'll take you guys behind the paywall, and you can learn about every single player and what they've done this entire year. So after the game, I kind of compiled the Pro Football Focus analytics along with snap counts and everything else, and I do it for every single player. So check this out. We're going to BamaInsider right now. Okay. So let me take the scoreboard off so you guys can get a better feel. So after the game, I literally do this for every single player based off snap counts and stats. So see Ben Davis, you can see he had 1 snap against Auburn. Kellen Robinson, right? No snaps. All signs point to an opt-out. Patrick Surtain, you can see what he did against Missouri, A&M, Ole Miss, Georgia, Tennessee, every single statistical information. And then now, since we get to the later part, I add their awards that they're up for. So 73 snaps, for example, against LSU, 88.1 by Pro Football Focus. And I have this for every single player. Talk about a labor of love, Mick.
Yeah, you do. I mean, like,
look at this is for Devontae Smith. So
you're into it, man, and that's good.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get it. There's a lot of avenues to get your Alabama Crimson Tide football coverage from, but I'm telling you, we're not only YouTube, like the BamaInsider is where all the stuff is. All this stuff that we're regurgitating, it's back on BamaInsider. I mean, I have every single statistical information. So you're wondering about Shane Lee. I'll just go down. I know all the players by number 35. I'll pull him up. Shane Lee. Prior to this game, he had 7 snaps against Mississippi State. So to see him come up with his first stat, really of the season is pretty instrumental, considering he had over 700 snaps last year as a true freshman. Just a little taste what you can get at BamaInsider.com. All right, put another graphic back on the page. Looks like it was a fumble recovery by Jalen Moody. Okay. All right. So how it works, fam, is probably with 5 minutes, I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to come back and start a new show. We're going to talk about this game, what we learned, take your calls as we kind of turn the page next week. And then, Mick, you'll have your show on Sunday night talking about, I guarantee, the SEC championship.
Yeah. We'll be talking Max and Mick podcast tomorrow. We got the Sunday night show, and this is going to be a fun week. We got our recruiting special on Wednesday, and then Friday I will be at Old Forge Distillery in Pigeon Forge. It's gonna be fun, man. You've been there before, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg. This time of year with the Christmas lights, oh man, I can't wait to get up there. Eggnog. You ever had the eggnog before?
You want to hear a crazy story about Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg? I think I kind of told you. I won't tell the YouTube community the full story. So I went up to Gatlinburg. I took my family up there, right? And it was this year, which feels like 20 years ago, because in February, my wife and we went to Charleston for the first time, which is amazing. And then in March, before like Corona took over the entire universe, we went out to Gatlinburg, right? We rented a cabin with some of our friends, and we went up to the mountains. It was amazing. It was great, right? So I'm out there, and this is in like mid-March. So Corona craziness was kind of creeping up. This was like right before the toilet paper shortage, right? Remember when people like freaked out and like you couldn't get toilet paper anywhere? Like, yeah, you were like looking at paper towels and you're like, uh-oh, this is going to be dicey.
$30 for these toilet paper rolls.
So I'm out we're in Gatlinburg, and we're at this beautiful park. It's a beautiful day. People are outside, like wiping down stuff with Lysol. People, it's starting to get crazy. And me and my buddy are throwing the football back and forth, probably like, I don't know, 35 yards apart, right? Mick seen my highlight tape, right?
Yeah,
Bust out the highlight tape for the YouTube family. Mick, were you impressed by the highlight tape before I finished?
I mean, like I'm ready for you to be like a 5-star or something on that tape.
Yeah. So, anyways, he used to play a little wide receiver, whatever. I'm catching passes and stuff like that. My buddy throws a pass, and it's, it's with like a college-sized football, so it has some weight to it. And my finger, it hits my finger, and I look down at my finger, and my finger, literally, my index finger on my right hand was crushed down all the way to the bottom. Kind of like, think of like an accordion, but picture that with your index finger. And I'm like, and I was like shocked, and I was like, my goodness, like I cannot believe that my I couldn't even process it because the injury was so bad. Long story short, I had to stay like that for like 4 days before I got back to Tuscaloosa. So an orthopedist had to pop it back into place. It was horrific. I don't recommend it. And then for months and months, I had to go to rehab for my hand and all this stuff. Long story short, I'm good to go. But getting to your point, you're where were you? Where are you going next week?
Old Forge.
Okay, so
right there by that park. I'm guessing where you.
Yeah. So I had some. I think it was the butterscotch whiskey.
Oh yeah.
And I'll just say, long story short, that helped me get some rest a couple times during that time.
You didn't feel that finger anymore, huh?
I didn't. No. There's a couple. No, I didn't. Alabama up 45-3, trying to close out this game, handing it off once again for Bryce Young. As we kind of look at the statistics in this game, bring that up right now for you. Bryce Young has thrown the football a whopping 3 times for 21 yards. Both of those on the 2 completions came on screens. Went to throw it downfield one time, and it was the receiver dropped the pass, and then Bryce Young was trying to put it into the end zone, and Roydell Williams fumbled away the football. So, I mean, not much to work with. The game in the second half has just been pretty miserable to watch. I mean, we've traded pretty much every story that we have, Mick, you and I, or at least some. I mean, the thing I love about Mick too is he's lived around the country. Same with me. So we've run into a lot of people, but we're getting to that break where we might close the stream and get ready for the post-game call-in show. 6 minutes left, another screen from Bryce Young. I don't even think that was past the line of scrimmage. Why don't they let him throw the football like down? Like,
I don't know. Maybe they don't want to run it up. I got one question to pose with the passing of Ray Perkins, and I should have talked about Ray Perkins. I think I'm going to do it tomorrow on the Max and Mick podcast because there was a significant thing that happened to me in my baseball career that would not have happened had Ray Perkins not been the head coach at Alabama and a star receiver with the Baltimore Colts. And if you guys want to hear the story, I'm going to tell Max about it tomorrow. We're going to talk about Ray Perkins. But when he was there, I think it was like 83, Alabama wore the inverted helmets for like a season, or at least for some games, right? I want to say it was like 83 or 84. So the helmet was white and the numerals were crimson. Since I've been at Alabama, and going back to as a student, I mean, like I've never seen that, but I would love for one time to just have those helmets make a comeback at least once. Is there anyone else out there that would like to just for maybe one game? Because the uniforms are great the way they are, but it'd be cool to have like the white with crimson one time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see some sort of a swap out, but Alabama is way too traditional. They'll never do it. I don't even bring it up because I bring it up on BamaInsider, and they're like, no, never.
Well, but they've done it before. It's not like I'm saying, hey, let's go with like a black helmet or something. I'm saying like this is a helmet that they've worn in the past.
I think it'd be cool. I think it would be cool, but there's like a large majority that thinks it's they'll never do it. So
yeah, it's I get that too. I mean, like Jim Wells when he was the coach at Alabama baseball. Let me grab Jim for you before I get off here. He's up here. Let everybody see Jim. All right, there's Jim. See Jim? Jim used to say like Alabama wore very plain baseball uniforms, and it's because he didn't want the guys to look like they were fresh out of Hibbett Sports. He wanted them to play baseball and not be worried about the uniform. So I love Jim. Great guy. Big time influence on my baseball career. Best coach Alabama's ever had. And was not a guy that wanted to do a whole lot with those uniforms. All right, Kyle, look, I know you got stuff to do. Roll Tide to everyone watching, and we will talk to you tomorrow, man. See you guys later.
All right. See you, Mick. Appreciate it, buddy. All right. So I'm going to end the stream right now, and then I will catch you guys on the call-in show. Put the call-in show. Need to get a quick drink of water and then come back, and we're going to have our call-in show. We'll also have Nick Saban's press conference. I'll start the stream momentarily right here on BamaInsider.com. Thanks for joining me on the watch party. Alabama continues to roll. We'll dive into it next here in about 10 minutes right here on Bama Insider. Thank you.